So, how are you today?
Sorry, I'm good. How are you?
This is our second take, unfortunately. But I'm doing good. I already asked you how you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just exhausted from work. But today is St. Patty's Day. So, for people who celebrate St. Patty's Day,
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly.
And we hope that you guys are all doing good at home too. Hope you had a great week.
but we did. So, coming from last episode, we talked about wanting to do more photo shoots, and we did just that.
We did. It's surprising, right? We're being consistent.
I know. We committed to it because we put it out in the world. But the photo shoot that we did, it was a very, I want to say, not all over the place, but it
kind of was.
It was, yeah. But so we had like 3 locations in one night. Yeah. So we went to this old shipyard to take photos.
Oh yeah, it's called Mare Island.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't say Mare Island, but yeah, we went to Mare Island to shoot, and we were only there for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty fast. We got a call from our friend O3. We'll go by his music name.
Okay.
He called us and he was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And then we kind of like stopped what we were doing and went and picked him up. Which, I kind of wish we got a little bit more shots, but it's okay. I still had fun. I think that it was worth it in the end. How did you like your pictures in that first location?
To be honest with you, I feel like I wasn't working with a lot. I mean, the location was great. It was just me getting my foot back in the water. It was like testing the water. Like, I was working with a new camera. And
how did you like it?
I love this camera, dude. Like, the quality and everything about it. Ooh. And we both shoot on a Sony a6400, and it's such a versatile camera.
And, even though we do shoot on the same camera, you'll see in the pictures that we show you, our photos are completely different. Like, it's not the camera that makes the picture, it's really the photographer. And like, after shooting together with the same camera, it really shows just how different things can be to a different eye, Mm-hmm. And I think that was really interesting to see.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
And I think we also have different editing styles.
We definitely do. You go for more of like a clear, like everything kind of like is more like white. You know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. I noticed that everything is more like, I don't want to say like foggy, but it kind of looks like a little like, I don't know how to, it's just like this aesthetic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You have this aesthetic in your pictures. You go for a lot of like flash, you know what I mean? And where I don't like using flash, and I go for more of like grungy, like grainy, like type photos. I like dark, I like darkness. I really like black and white. Like, that's one of my favorite styles of photography is black and white photography.
Yeah. And, it's weird because I don't see the image right away when I take the picture. I kind of just like hope for the, because I'm shooting in the dark for the most part. Like, I'm using the lowest ISO I could possibly go, so that I can obtain less grain and all that.
Yeah.
But because what I do is I overexpose on when I edit, so that I can see what's going on, and then put in the blacks and then adjust the whites and then all that stuff, right? And I usually go for more like a film look,
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, and I'll let you guys know what my secret is. It's like I use a preset already, but I always adjust it to my liking and all that. And so whenever we shoot, how you said that I like to do flash.
Yeah.
For the pictures that we didn't use flash. More so, I think we just used the lighting around us.
Yeah, it was still daytime too. It was like, I don't want to say golden hour, but it was like,
it was gloomy that day.
It was gloomy. But if it wasn't gloomy, it would have been golden hour. It was like right at sunset. It was still nice though. We didn't really, in that first location, we didn't really take pictures of any like model or anything. It was more like landscape. We were just like taking pictures of whatever we saw, like random doors and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the first location, we kind of just focused on like the architecture around, because we were in an abandoned building.
Yeah.
And we were just like taking pictures of whatever we could find, and we're gonna do one example here. So, and this was my shot right here, which is like the side of the building, and I really like how kind of crisp it is.
Yeah, it looks real. Like, I like the blue tint that it has to it, and it looks like the texture of the bricks. I really like how it complements this, like, the sky.
Yeah, and it was hard to like kind of get the sky in, because the thing is, whenever you shoot like sky, it's always gonna be overexposed. So it took a lot of like navigating to get the sky at the right place. But yeah, and then let's look at one of yours. And then this right here. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could see in mine it's a lot more grainy than his was. A lot clearer. Like, it was really clear. You could see like you could see more detail in it. Mine, it's more like dark. It looks, I think this one was taken a little bit more towards like the dark, like more
When it
darker.
got darker, yeah. But I like, what's it called, the texture feel to it, And
Thank
then
you.
I don't know, but this little light source, I don't know, it looks cool
Yeah.
to me. But yeah, like composition wise, it's pretty cool. I will say, I kind of, if on like to critique it a bit, I would just say probably cut this foreground a little bit and then like raise it up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then for this one right here, oh shit, I kind of went for like I don't know, I kind of was just fucking around, to be honest with you, but I was moving the camera while I was taking a shot to get that like that blurry look.
Yeah.
And then
I like how it kind of reminds me of like a scary movie.
yeah,
or
that's
something
exactly
like,
what I was going for. Because in my mind, I was thinking of like, how can we make a story out of this place?
I like that one a lot.
This one?
Yeah, that one. I really like how center everything is. So the pathway, the doors, the trees, even the window in the middle, everything is very complementary to each other. They're leading lines. The pathway, it leads you to the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I just wish is I kind of wish it was more toward the middle. Because if you look at the pathway here, it's uneven, Yeah. But I mean, it was our first outing. Let's see. Oh, and then we took a picture of the tree. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a random picture of a tree. But yeah, so our second location, we went to, well, you took us to a very suspicious place.
There's this place in Vacaville. It's where all the windmills are. I've been there during the daytime when the sun was setting. It looked super beautiful. It was, you could see the sky. It was like reddish, and the windmills were all. It's super super quiet. No one's there. No one drives, and there's like this little town in the middle of nowhere, like right in the middle. And we ended up going there when it was like pitch black, and they were like spooked out of their mind. They didn't know what to do.
Let me tell you, like, it was nerve-wracking because one, it was like 8 p.m. and it was still kind of
8
daylight.
p.m.
It was daylight saving still,
Yeah,
right? So it was pitch dark, like 10 p.m. dark and all that. And then next thing you know, we stumble into this town, this very like.
It looked like a hillbilly town.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, I hope to God we don't die,
We weren't going to die. We were fine. There was
fine.
not even anyone in the town. There was like two little kids.
There were 2 kids, and then there was this one car. But, dude, when I saw those kids, I was freaked the fuck out. I was just
children
like,
of the corn.
I know, like legit. But it was cool. We got some great shots. Let's see what we can. All right. We'll start off with Hennick right here.
Oh, yeah. And this is when we picked up our friend 03 Hennick.
But, yeah, and this shot right here, like, we were using the video light. That's where the light source was coming from. And I was like, to be honest, I'm just going to capture motion. That was my end game right here. Like, this one right here, like, I didn't expect to be super, super fucking crisp or clean and all that. So we're gonna pause real quick.
Okay.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to deal with just make sure that we weren't gonna get interrupted, so we're good. But going back, this shot of 03, we were using the video light, and I remember like I'm gonna use f-stop's advantage. Like I was gonna go for, I think I was shooting at f. I want to say in the 20s, you know, to get
It doesn't
that.
tell you.
No, because this was from my phone.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
If I had the original pictures, then yeah, it would tell me. But since these were already edited and all that, but yeah,
I like that one a lot.
yeah.
I like. Did you crop that one?
No, I didn't.
No?
All of these are all. Well, I mean, my camera crops it to 16:9 ratio, so that's why it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I like the way you framed that one a lot, and I like the way who was holding the light. It was probably Jasmine.
It was,
huh?
yeah, Jasmine.
I like the way that the light is like shining on his face and his hand, and then it kind of like dissolves into the darkness.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then
I like that one.
yeah,
That
there's
one.
shot of you too.
Yeah, even though it's
Yeah.
like motion blur, I like. I don't know. I just like you could see the road in the background.
Yeah.
It just looks really cool.
And also, what I like to do when I take pictures is, you know, I go for kind of like, the way I see it is more like a documentarian, kind of like just documenting this, like us
Yeah.
hanging out and all that, and like, you know.
It looks like something that you would see like in a documentary.
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
It looks like
Or
like,
photojournalism.
It
Yeah.
does. It looks like some. It looks like a '90s picture. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
like that. I like it a lot. And go back. You can kind of see the skyline too, huh?
You can, yeah. If you work really hard enough, you can see the windmills.
Oh,
and
you
then
can. That's
It's
dope.
just if I expose the back, but I didn't want to do like an extreme, you know, because it will look weird if
Yeah.
And then let's see. One of my other favorite shots was this of Hennig holding the video camera, and you see the white light just like kind of. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool when I got
Yeah.
that shot. Yeah.
I got one, not similar to that one, but I did get a shot with him. I don't have it edited.
Yeah.
I got a shot of him holding the light, and I zoomed in on the camera, and it looked like something from like the Alien versus Predator cover.
Yeah.
It looked like that. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, and you know,
I like that picture too.
just like when so when I was shooting you guys, right, I kind of just I didn't pose you guys. I wanted to
Yeah.
be candid. So this shot of Jasmine, like she was talking to Hennig or 03, and I just caught that moment, you know. And then this is when I asked for her to pose, and then I kind of just for this one I just focused on composition. Yeah, I wanted her to like I wanted it to be like more on the side rather than on the middle and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it was like super windy. It was so windy.
We were cold. I was hella cold, dude. I was just like, when are we gonna go?
It was like this random like railroad that we just found, and it was pitch dark. There was no street lights or anything. It was a good experience. I liked it.
And then this shot of you and Jasmine, you know, I just like capturing, you know, small moments like these, you know.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
And then our last location was Napa, California, downtown Napa to be exact. And I took this shot when we first walked into that little plaza.
Yeah, I like that shot a lot. I kind of wish that the angel was more like to the right, so that way it wasn't in the way of the lamppost wasn't in the way of it. But other than that, I think it's a really good shot.
Yeah.
I like how like dark it is. I like that one a lot too.
This is, to be honest, I saw it and I was like, oh, floating nutsacks. But
it does look like that.
I think there's supposed to be something about acorns and shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, because there was acorns on the ground.
Yeah, so it had something to do with that.
But that one, it looks like something out of like a Dungeons and Dragons game or something.
Yeah, like into a tavern filled with like, yeah.
It just has this really cool vibe to it.
And then
I really liked that location.
So let's look at yours. So we went to an alleyway.
Yeah, this little like we were walking downtown, and there was just this random alleyway with the stairs. It was like a staircase going up, and to the side it was like a winery, I think, and I don't know, it's just something about it. It just really spoke to me. The lighting, I think, and the bricks. It just like, it really stood out. So I was like, hey, let's go over there and shoot. And this guy didn't even want to go down there. He was so scared.
Hold on. The reason why was because I'll be honest with you. Whenever I'm in crowded places, I'm always like, I have anxiety when it comes to crowded places. So when you guys were like, oh, let's go shoot here, like I was like, my anxiety was like taking over me because like, you know, I was just like, I want to make sure that we're not going to get fucking robbed or the police weren't going to be like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You know? So me and Jasmine stayed back, like, you know, to the side. And then, but I did get shots though. It's just from very far away. But this shot,
it wasn't that far.
Yeah.
It was like a couple feet.
But this shot, 03 took a view, right? And it's pretty cool. I like how the lighting kind of, you know, goes onto your jacket but doesn't show your face. This mysterious, dark, grunge vibe to it.
And I was the one that edited these, so these weren't taken by me, but these were edited by me, so you can kind of see the style that I like to edit in, like the black and white type of style.
Yeah.
This one,
oh shit, my bad. Oh fuck. Yeah, go ahead.
This one was taken by me. It's just like some feet pics. But I like pictures.
To be clear, there were shoes on the feet. This wasn't any. Yeah.
Well, they can see. They'll be able to see.
Yeah.
But I like pictures where you not necessarily see the whole subject. It's kind of like it's telling you like a story without like telling you anything. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it looks like what is he doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is he doing in that alley?
I do like the composition of this. I think it's very like it's centered but off centered.
Yeah.
You know? And I think the lighting casts like a dramatic shadow over here, and like the, you know, the textures over here, and then like kind of like you said, like what are they doing here? You know.
I really like the brick, like how the brick is like, it just like pops out, and then over here it's smooth, and then down here it's like pebbles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like how the texture is different everywhere.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about this.
And then on my end, sorry, it's all mumbled jumbled. All right, let's start here. So this was a shot I took in the distance.
I like this shot a lot because this is what caught my eye. Like, this is exactly what caught my eye. I was like looking and I was like, oh, that's what I saw. But I really like how centered it is. You're really good at that, like centering your pictures.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as that as you.
You know, like I saw this and I was just like, okay, Mondo and 03 is not in the way, so let me just snap this real quick picture. And like, what I like about it so much is kind of like how you could tell it's far away.
Yeah.
Like the darkness is presence, but there's also light at the end, you know, and I think that's beautiful, you know.
It's kind of like a spotlight.
I will say I need to kind of like rotate it a bit to make it a little bit centered.
Like up here you can, I do wish that the trash cans weren't there.
Yeah, but also I think the trash cans add a little flavor just because it's like, wow, this is a real place, you know?
Yeah.
And then so while they were shooting, I kind of like shot from the side or from the afar, and let's use this one.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, so I really like how the lighting outlines his body.
The backlit. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like silhouette type pictures.
Yeah.
So like when I was like shooting from afar, you know, I was just like, okay, I see the vision, you know, I fucks with it. And yeah.
I could, you could probably center that one a little bit, like rotate it.
Yeah. And then moving on, I took this picture of you, and it wasn't like, in my mind, I was like, let's spice it up. Like I did the little, you know, motion to make them blurry.
I like that picture. I haven't seen that one before. I like that one. I like the blur on it. It adds a little character to it.
Yeah.
Usually I don't like pictures that are like full body either, but that one I like a lot. I like I don't know, it kind of like what is the word like um that's like a real moment. You know what I mean? Like
And that's what I tried going for, is just making like making it look like this is happening now, and you know, yeah. And then moving on, like this was my favorite part of the night.
I love how clear that looks.
Yeah, dude, and like to be honest, when I was editing the picture, I was just like, this kind of looks like it was done in the daytime.
It does,
but it's just through intense editing and kind of like how the lighting was on going onto that wall.
Yeah,
but yeah, and then we moved on, and then you know, let's move on to like, so when we got these shots, I was just like, bro, this is lit.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of this location, even though I was the one that picked it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was just because he was just like, in one pose. Maybe if he had done like different poses, it would have been a little differently. But I don't know.
What's it called? So it was the same pose, but I like this shot more than the close up, is because like.
Yeah. I do like that one a lot.
I do love the light source coming in and just like, I don't know, it for me. I like when you see lights have like a, you know, a flare to them, right? Like, cause it catches your eye and all that.
Yeah.
And for the light to come down and then cast that like, you know, very dramatic lighting, and like it's super fucking cool. And when I saw this shot, I was like, it's such. It looks fucking amazing. That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
It does, and it's crazy because you know we have the same camera, but I would never be able to take a picture like that at nighttime. Like it was really dark. It was, and it looks like it was like 5 p.m.
Yeah. And then let's look at. Did you not take pictures over there?
I didn't.
Okay.
No,
right, so
I did, but I didn't edit them. I just I don't, when I take pictures, I don't really edit every single picture I take because I don't like every single picture I take. I just edit the ones that I personally like.
And what's it called? So we'll move on to the parking garage, which I think was a really cool like set, like part of the location. So this shot, O3 did of you and Jasmine, right? And
did he take that, or did you take that?
No, that he took, because this is from you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I edited this one and he took that one.
I just love this little random square in the middle of this wall, and you know, when we saw that, I was like, we can play with this. And I love the kind of like the mystery behind this photo, you know?
Yeah.
Especially the composition too. You have like Jasmine all the way to the right. You have you in the center, and then like this open space right there. Yeah.
I like how the lighting is. It's like light over to the right, and then to the left it gets really dark, and then it kind of just like fades.
Yeah. And then let's look at the other photo you did. This one I thought was pretty cool. It looks like a visual for like music or something like that, you know?
Yeah, what I was going for was I like texture.
Yeah.
So his jacket, I really like the texture on his jacket. It's like I don't know, I just want to touch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the wall, I like the way the texture of the jacket looks next to the wall, and then his hair, and then that's.
I will say, like, I kind of wish we told him to take off his like little bag.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I like it. I think it adds a little bit of character.
Yeah. But I like how it's centered. You know, it's not like you know, not centered, but at least like it's kind of like you see where the focal point is. You know? Yeah.
And I like taking pictures where you can't see the subject's face, and it's kind of like you don't have a identity to that person. Like when I take pictures, I kind of try not to get their face. I kind of try to like leave it like blank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what's it called? Moving on, like this is my set of photos. Yeah. So where my photos start was at the staircase, and I really like this because I was like, I can tell a story here. And if you so I'm gonna put it in post, but it's gonna basically cycle through, and like, you know, it's just him walking up the stairs, and then this one was my favorite shot right here. Was kind of him leaving the area.
Yeah.
And like, I was so glad that it caught the movement, because to me, everything is still the him, you know?
Yeah, I like that a lot. How everything is like in frame except for him. He's just like.
And then I also like this when he's coming back too. Like, it's just, I don't know, I think it's pretty dope. Made me think of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I can see that. I like how it's a silhouette.
Yeah.
I like the silhouette.
Also, it kind of gives me like such a horror thriller type of vibe.
It does. Yeah, know? He's just like standing there like he's going to kill you or something.
Yeah. And then, we're going to pause. And we're back. Sorry we had another distraction. But going back, this photo, I also enjoyed too. This was same shot, but pretty far back a little bit. I zoomed out a bit. But moving on to the actual parking garage where we saw the little square.
I like that one a lot.
So I remember you said, you were like, oh, I like the, lighting in this. And I changed my white balance to, I think, iridescent to get that blue-like look. And I just stuck with it because I didn't like how it, because normally it just looks like a pale wall, right?
Yeah.
The blue tint it showed, like, I was like, just adds character to it, Let's look.
I like that one.
Just the square.
Yeah, just the square. I really like the white balance, though. I really like the fact that you changed it.
Yeah. I took that risk. I was like, I don't know how this is going to play out. But
that one's really cool.
I really like the shots I did of you in 03 just because, like, I use this little square as a... And if you see my Instagram, I kind of make I call it, like, the trilogy. And like in each of the photo sets, there's like a little story to them,
Yeah.
And then, let's look at 03's shots. Oh, did I not shoot that much? Hold on. Okay, so this shot of 03 just walking down, I thought that was pretty cool. And I also tilted the camera a bit.
Yeah.
And that it was to mimic, I don't know, but it just looked cool. And then it came to you, and what I liked about what you did was you kind of added a little flair to them. You kind of made like, ooh, what am I doing here? Where am I? Ooh.
It kind of looks like the cover of the Parasite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot though. It looks like still life. You know what I mean? Like I really like those pictures. I really like how clear they look too. They look clear but not clear at the same time.
Yeah, and then we moved on and we were like, Jasmine, just stand right here. And while you were in the square, I made it look like you were like creeping on her. But like, not in like a bad way, but more so just like, who is this girl type of shit, And then this shot right here, I did a close-up on you and then had her like kind of just like off to the side a bit. And I just really love this one.
Yeah, it's a really good shot. I still really love the white balance on that. It's like perfect.
Yeah.
And we never showed those ones.
Oh yeah. So going back to Vacaville or the ghost town, we did. So there was this like random vending machine in the middle of, I'd say, like, it was like right next to a building. Yeah. And we saw it, and I'll be real, I was kind of like, let's just go home, man. Like, because you were you were running low on gas. And I was just like, bro, I swear to God, if we run out of gas in the middle of nowhere. But
it would have been bad.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But we did take a stop, and I'm kind of glad we did because we got some great shots, like especially this one right here of 03 just standing in front of the Pepsi vending machine.
It was really weird because it was like this town. You would blink if you missed the town. Like literally, if you could just like sneeze and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
And there's this. It looked like an abandoned church or something, and there was a Pepsi machine just like sitting there for no reason. It was just there, and it was on and everything, and everything was dark. There was like no street lights. But there was just a Pepsi machine lighting the whole street. It was weird.
And what I liked about that Pepsi thing too is just everything was dark around us, but it was emitting bright light towards everything. It was kind of just like this, like, how when you see something like so grandeur or like heavenly, it kind of has like the light streaks coming out. That's what I saw when I saw this Pepsi vending machine. I was just like, okay, I see the vision.
I really wish that I had like a wide angle lens, because with our lenses, you can't really shoot. You can shoot in low light, but it's not really the desired effect, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if we had like a lens with like an aperture of 1.8 or 1.4, we
Yeah.
probably would have been able to get some dope shots.
Yeah.
But we were dealing with the kit lens, which the aperture goes down to like 3 at most, or 4.
I think it's like 3.8.
Yeah, what's it called? But you have to. It's like you gotta work with it, and you know, with this one, I was just like, let's just focus on zooming in so that we can get at the most light in, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I still really like that shot. And we actually, I don't know if I sent it to you, but we'll
show
put
it,
yeah, we'll
yeah.
show it. We took it on an iPhone. O3 took it. It was like beautiful. And it's surprising because it was taken on an iPhone. I mean, iPhones do have good cameras, but
Yeah. And this was my favorite shot out of the whole Pepsi thing too, because like it just gives me this neo-noir look, you know?
and then you could see the bokeh in the back.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
It just, oh man, it's fucking great. And then if you want to look at the whole set, it's on it's on my Instagram. I think
Yeah.
you still have yet to post yours.
Yeah, I haven't posted anything yet.
But if you want to see, my photos, you can go ahead and on my Instagram, Shots by Jerel.
I'll post mine soon. My Instagram will be there.
And then so I had one last photo and then we'll move on.
Okay.
This shot of Jasmine in the little angel like fixture that they had. When I edited this, I didn't think it was gonna be anything because I was like, oh, it's just a normal picture, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I saw this at the top,
It looks like heavenly.
I know. I was just like, especially that it's because it's an angel too,
Yeah.
angel wings. I was just like, oh my god, that's fucking fire.
Yeah, I really like that picture. The one thing I would say is that I wish that you see how on the left side the wing is kind of chopped off a little bit, and on here there's extra room. I wish that it was more centered, but other than that, I think it's a really beautiful picture, and I really like the blueness to it, because blue is like a cool, like when I think of blue, I think of like I don't want to say like heavenly, but
Yeah.
kind of, you know what I mean, like because like red is like hot, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
And also, I mean, I was still shooting iridescent light balance, so that's why it was blue. But, even then, it looks cool. Because it was blue, too,
Yeah, it was.
Or it just
changed
turned blue.
colors, yeah.
But really cool, We learned a lot. And what's it called? I had a lot of fun that night.
Me too. It was good getting back into it. Because, like we said, we haven't really been into photography like how we were. And this was kind of just like a step back into it. It's not necessarily like, oh, we're the best photographers in the world. No, we're still getting back into it. These are just the beginning for us.
It was kind of like a homecoming kind of thing, And I really did have fun. And honestly, I can't wait to do more because
Me too.
there was like, I don't know. I feel like there's more things we could explore.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do a YouTube video that day.
It kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
But we might put in some clips, maybe. I don't know.
We'll probably, honestly, if we can salvage some of the clips, then we'll just put on a separate video. And
Yeah, but you should expect that from us soon. Some YouTube videos, some photo challenges, hopefully, some different segments from us. So just be expecting that. And one thing we didn't mention is the lighting situation. Sorry about the last video. It was kind of. We're still getting new to this. I mean, you should be grateful that you're getting a video.
And I think one thing that I've been appreciating about this process of getting back into doing the podcast, doing the photo shoot, is I mean, we've already stated in past podcasts that we're still learning as we go. You'll see the mistakes we make, and one of the mistakes we made last episode was just I had a lighting kit, but we didn't use it last episode because I didn't think we were gonna use it, but I used it for this week because I did an interview with Hazel, which we're gonna talk about in a second, and I was just like, damn. We could have used this last episode.
It's okay. It was a good episode.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on our last episode. It was good. It was good to get back into it. It was like refreshing to to know that even though we stopped for so long, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, and if you notice, we don't have alcohol anymore because last episode I got fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it fucked me up. Like not even during filming, but after filming, I woke up like, why do I feel like shit? And it was because of the tequila.
I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, no.
What happened?
You threw up.
I threw up.
Yeah.
Well, but where did I throw up? Did I throw up at home?
You threw up in the backyard.
In the backyard.
Damn.
On the yeah, I threw up.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate yakking, so what's it called? I just stomached it in, and I just was like, fuck.
It was. I mean, I don't want to say it was bad because the alcohol was all right. It was tolerable, but
it's
my
just
god,
the conception of how much we took because I didn't measure how much I poured.
We were just pouring. We were just pouring and drinking.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was fun. It was a good experience, but we're not gonna have alcohol every time.
I mean, I'm not gonna say we won't have alcohol. I mean, I think we just gotta make sure we
just not every time. Yeah. Not often.
We just gotta make sure that we put in the right amount.
Yeah.
Because we kind of just went
We'll
in.
measure it next time. Maybe we'll have like
5 shots per.
I don't know, but half the bottle was gone.
Yeah. But like I said, I did interview someone. I interviewed my friend Hazel. She's a talented artist, and we're gonna play a clip, or we're gonna play the whole interview after we talk about it. But what I learned from that interview was that I need to improve on my interview skills because I was so nervous that day because I was just like, okay, this is my first interview, but you're not in the room with me, and it was just one-on-one, and I was just like, we had to do like 2-3 takes because I kept messing up.
So how did you record it?
We recorded like this.
Oh, like this. Did you film it?
Yeah, we filmed it and everything, cool. So we'll put that in. But I was super unprepared with I didn't have any questions on hand. I kind of was just like, I have it in my head. I have the concept, but when it came to the actual interview, I wish I was more prepared, and that's where I'm going in. Next time is that write down the questions, you know, because going into it, I was just like, I'm running out of things to say, or I had this idea where I wanted to go, but I didn't know how to go about it because I didn't write it down. Yeah. But overall, it was a good interview. She talks a lot about her creative process and, how she got into, being a creative, because not only did she do music or anything, but she did photography. She does editing. She's designing. Now she's doing hair. Oh, and wow. It's there's a multitude of things that she's good at, and we talked about that, and so we'll play the whole interview right now, and then welcome back to Behind the Frames. I'm your host, Jerel Villanueva, and today I am interviewing Hazel Basa. She is a amazing artist. She has done multiple things in her lifetime. She has been a master at photography, at designing, and music. And then now she's going into hair. So how are you today, Hazel?
I'm doing great. I've been chill. Just got off work. Now I'm here, ready to talk about all things creative. How are you today? I'm
doing amazing as well. I too also had school. Well, I had an obligation, which was school, so I'm coming from there. But nice. I'm so glad to be doing this interview with you. Cool. But yeah, so when did you begin to start being creative?
It was definitely ever since I remembered the Dancing Queen video on Facebook that my mom posted. And I also was influenced by TFC, my sister. She liked doing color guard, and I watched her shows, and since I was little, I helped her out, collect all the flags, and after the whole show was done, I was just so inspired by how cool everything looked, and I knew that when I was older, I wanted to do the same thing. So I followed her and got into that whole marching band experience, and instead of just going into dance, I decided I like music. Well, actually, they kind of encouraged everyone to do music if they wanted to do anything else too. So, but I honestly was not complaining because it was fun, and I think I decided to be a creative when I realized that it was fun. Yeah. Because if it's not fun, you don't really want to do anything else. So yeah, a lot of what I do is driven by how much I can enjoy it. Like, definitely, I like doing makeup and hair and all things beauty. So that's why I'm going to school at Paul Mitchell.
Yeah. And, you know, like you said, like, you know, you did it because it's fun. And I think that's a fundamental part of being an artist is that, like, although it's nice to be recognized for your work, but if you're not having fun doing your work, then why do it at all, you know?
Exactly.
And, like, so let's dive into a couple of your endeavors as we've, you know, as I've known you for probably 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
Like I said, she was a master at photography, even better than me.
No, I don't know about now though, because I don't even remember how to work a camera that much.
But I remember in high school though, you were way better than me.
Oh my
and
gosh.
This is not me like trying to just like gas you up and like, you know, put me down, but more so, I was really like envious of your work because I was like, dang, she's like only like 15 years old and she's like creating these like dope ass shots and shit.
I kind of miss it. I want to get back into it.
Yeah. And like, so with photography, how'd you get into that?
Honestly, I feel like another reason why I'm so creative is because my family is just, again, like my sister. It wasn't only my sister who influenced me. It was my cousin. His name is Alex. His name is Alex Basa. Create him on Instagram if you want to follow him. He literally told me, like, I don't know. He didn't really tell me much, actually. He just showed me, like, the stuff that he would do. And I'm like, whoa, what's that? And honestly, I think he showed a lot how much he liked to teach. And he was a drumline instructor. So he was also involved in marching band matters. So I talked to him a lot. And when we would spend time, I'd ask him questions about things. And suddenly I got curious in photography. So I asked him questions about that. And then he decided to take me under his wing. And he like taught me everything that I know. So he's really good at doing what he does. He's a copywriter, and I kind of don't know who he works for right now, but yeah, he taught me a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. I remember you telling me about your actually I met your cousin once at a party. Yeah, it was so dope.
You guys should meet again. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm like honestly I like it was so cool talking to him and like every time you talk about him actually like, you know, it inspires me a little bit, you know?
He always inspired me. And I think that's why I was always driven to being creative because all those things inspired me and it made me want to do those things too.
And that's so cool that you had someone to like, you know, mentor you kind of and like show you the ropes a little bit. I feel kind of
spoiled looking back because he doesn't really teach me that. He doesn't teach me things anymore. That's just because I don't ask.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's so cool, like to have someone, because like when I started off,
right,
I barely had anyone. Like with this whole podcast and with every endeavor that I'm going into. How far
you've gotten though on your own? That's crazy.
Yeah, but you know, it's good to have support, and you know, it's like it's awesome when you have someone who believes in you. You know, yeah, and I think that's really freaking dope.
Thanks.
So,
cool.
With photography, also, you're really good at editing.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
thank you.
You have a really distinct color palette.
Oh yeah.
And you like, I'm telling you guys right now, her Instagram page, it's like it's carefully crafted to
it
like
really is.
You know, and it's just like
you know me very well actually.
With her, like if you look at her feed, like you could tell that there's a theme and there's like a specific colorway that you go for. Like even if like you take a random picture of like let's say
it has to be
there has
white
to be
balance.
Exactly. And it's
How
just
did you know that?
It's aesthetically pleasing, and you know that's something that I admire about your craft is that you know you put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
And then like you know it's just everything you do is seamless. Like there's no like rough patches. It all flows consistently, you know?
Yes.
But like take me through that process though. Like how do you like go about taking pictures and then establishing a color palette?
Well, let's see. Let me think about how I used to take pictures back then. Because I remember in elementary school, me and my best friend before, we used to love Tumblr stuff. Like those trends on
Oh,
Tumblr.
those were the days.
Like the just girly things type stuff. Yeah, we used to love that stuff. And they would take very aesthetic type pictures, and that's where I discovered Starbucks and coffee and how cute coffee would be in like next to a book or something. Yeah. That heavily influenced the eye I had when I started taking pictures on my own. Like, I wanted to take something like that too. Like, let me go get some Starbucks and go to Barnes and Nobles, get a book, and take a picture. But something else that really influenced that is, give me a second, I kind of lost it. It had to do with, okay, I digress. But when it comes to my color palette, it has to do with coffee too. I don't know. I just got diagnosed with a coffee addiction and obsession out of nowhere in middle school. And since coffee and chocolate and teddy bears and stuff like that are brown, and like fall and the leaves are all brown and like beige and tan and cream and all those colors, I just like it. I don't know.
I will say you make brown look appealing.
Right. A lot of people think of poop or something, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, and it's interesting when you can take a not so popular color and then
Right.
also but turn it into like an aesthetically pleasing to the eye, you know?
I'm kind of surprised because I would normally think brown is a popular color, but now that I think about it, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting into it though because
Yeah.
of like, your art style and like all of that. Like, I think a lot of people are going into earth tones,
Earth tones.
a lot of like
That's where it's-
laid back, because now like it was back then it was like hella pastel that was like
Yeah,
popular,
it was like those
or
vintage like blue tones
blue or
or
pink
like heavy
tones.
tones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like totally changing the color dynamic of the photo instead of making like more natural and earthy.
And like with the pictures you take, all of them come from your phone, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
Like you would, it's like I remember we would hang out, and then if we went out like to a city, or if we were just like out and about, like she would just take a random picture on her phone and be like, oh, okay, it's an iPhone photo, right? But when she posted, I was just like, are you sure that's an iPhone photo?
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what you think?
Sometimes, like, because I'm just like, damn, there's like heavily like nice edits and shit. Yeah.
No, I really get in there and edit the crap out of it.
What's it called? What editing software do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a Visco person.
Oh, you're a Visco? There's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, for real. Like, honestly, before that Visco girl thing happened, I loved Visco. It's easier. Like, honestly, I've tried softwares on the laptop and I'm lost. Like, I don't know. I feel like you do it a lot better than I ever would. Like, I can't even, like, there's just too much going on. But with Visco, it's like so simplified. Everything is easy. And so I just go on there and do everything. And there's like a lot of tools, even though it's simplified. So
yeah, to each their own on their creative process. Like some people have different
lazy,
softwares.
so, yeah.
But now moving on, you're a musician. Like you are a fucking talented singer, and I think you can play guitar. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I kind of got. Oh my gosh, it makes me think of the episode in The Office where it's like, where Pam was saying to Jim, Dwight thinks that his ukulele skills will transfer. When he was playing that one song of the guitar hella badly. Yeah, but that's kind of what I thought. And I still learned a bit of guitar here and there from my cousin too, because he loves music as well. But yeah, I still am a fresh beginner because I was not consistent enough. But I still kind of learn. I know some things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever like made any songs, or like not till a release, but kind of just made some of your own?
Like I would play with the chords that I found to be my favorite. Like I would just take it and just like pluck random like whatevers, and it would just sound nice. But that's as far as I would go. I wouldn't make. There was like no like set song I've ever like remembered making. But yeah, I would just mess around and enjoy that in the moment.
So like I remember you switched majors, right? You
Yep.
went from I think
my gosh.
music production.
I went
to...
from psychology to music technology and production, and then I went to Cosmo.
Okay, so what was that process like when you went into music technology? Were you like hella like, oh my god, this is like my shit, or were you like, oh, a little different than I imagined?
Honestly, I feel like it was the second part because I definitely was excited to go into school for my passion, which was music, and it still is. But I kind of didn't thrive in the environment of, Zoom and online classes and just, I don't know, traditional college in general. It was very difficult for me to handle mentally. I had a lot of struggles with my emotions and just, I went through depression and anxiety, but I'm actually very okay now.
Yeah.
But back then, it kind of took a toll when it came to me trying to focus on my career. And so instead, I wanted to take a step back and recalibrate and just stop and think, what do I really want to do? Because at some point after all of that stress for just only 2 semesters, I was just, I don't know, I wanted it to all like stop. And so I took a break. And once I figured everything out, I was really confused for a long time because you know how when you're creative, you're like, let's think of one thing you want to master. But it's kind of more complicated than that. Like, honestly, I still want to do music even though I'm in Cosmo, but it's like you can't, it's like you're not canceling out anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I can totally agree with you with the
Right.
whole like online schooling thing, because like especially when you're dealing with a subject like doing music or like anything creative, like you can't really just do it on a computer screen. Like you really have
Yeah.
to like that's why I miss in-person class. And
Yeah.
like I feel like when you're in person like learning about this shit, you actually become more involved because
Right, yeah.
everything's in front of you. It's being taught by example, but not by like
Right.
instead of being taught by like a book, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's the best way if you ever want to master a craft is just by doing instead of like
Yeah.
and like with cosmetology, how's that going for you?
It's great. I feel like it's helped me realize that my pain point was just the way I was learning was not the way I should be learning. And a lot of it was just the book work, the reading. I loved reading, but it wasn't really working for me at that time. And I think hands on is a lot more healthier for me because I feel more involved. Like my attention is constant and it's not wavering anywhere because I'm required to, keep my hands on. And it's a lot of fun. I actually learned how to balayage someone's hair,
Okay.
apply highlights. I learned how to do a perm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know how to do that. I kind of just don't know how to do the chemical process of that yet. I just know how to do the rollers to like curl your hair and keep it in the rollers for a minute. But yeah, stuff like that. I learned how to drape someone to prep them for a haircut.
Okay. Can you do haircuts or not yet?
Not yet. Actually, fun fact, I have 8 people in my class, and 7 out of 8 people are left-handed. Yeah.
Are you one of those people or okay?
Yeah, I'm left-handed, and so they had to reorder left-handed shears for everybody.
Oh,
so we have
man.
to wait. Yeah, we might learn it this week though.
So if you do haircuts, are you gonna do like the whole like for both girls and guys?
Yeah, part of so on the first day of school, it felt like Christmas, let me tell you. So I got I got razors, clippers for men. In my kit, I have makeup brushes, I have all types of like hair brushes, I have a hair straightener, hair curler, clips, and then I'll get shears like scissors. Um, yeah, all of it. It's pretty
Dang,
fun.
so they gave you a whole ass kit.
Yeah, it's great.
That's fucking exciting.
Yeah, really felt like Christmas. They called it Kitmas.
Kitmas,
Yeah.
okay. Merry Kitmas.
Very Kitmas, yeah. It's
But
cool.
do you so after cosmetology school, what's the goal? Is it to do hair, makeup, or just be
I get
in
asked this a lot, and honestly, my general answer for every time I'm asked this is I'm gonna find out. Because honestly, you know how I went through that process of going through psych to music to Cosmo? I still feel unsure. Even though I feel really like sure about this, I'm still unsure in the big picture.
And that's okay, you
Yeah.
know? Like
I'm learning to be okay with that because I was very not okay with that for a while. But since I decided on one thing, I'm like, it's okay to have this one thing for now and then figure it out again later.
Yeah, no, and like, for a lot of people, like, the people who are in their respective fields, a lot of them just like were like, oh, let me just try it out, and then like they
Yeah.
ended up loving it. And I think that's how we should just go about life, is just like
Exactly.
taking the risk and seeing if like it sticks or not,
Right.
And
If it
that's
doesn't work, then you just take the next one.
yeah, that's how life works. That's a cycle. But so out of everything we talked about in the creative journey, were there any like obstacles or problems along the way that kind of like deterred
ton.
you? Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I feel like the biggest obstacle, since I don't want to get into like the whole list of things, maybe I will like in depth, but like the whole umbrella of it is under just self-doubt. I feel like that's like the major enemy against any creative.
I
Just
think
doubt.
I share that with you,
Yeah.
and it's just so like what about self-doubt? Do you just like not believe in yourself, or was
Yeah,
it
it would
or,
get to it would get to that point for a long time. I wouldn't usually like I wouldn't admit this to many people, and so just saying it here is kind of like, ooh,
I know it's out in the world.
yeah. But take a breath. The way I dealt with it, I would say I kind of just accepted that it's okay to mess up with things, and it's okay to be unsure, and it's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to change your mind again. So yeah, I think the self-doubt kind of made me step back, and when I changed majors from music, when I step back, that's kind of like it makes me close in, like I kind of hide away into a shell like a turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I haven't been on social media a lot lately, but I'm getting back into it. So that's kind of something I'm looking forward to. And that's kind of what I want to really focus on.
What's it called? I'm on the
yeah.
same boat as you, actually. Like, and there's nothing wrong with having doubt in yourself.
Yeah.
And especially,
I think it's normal and natural.
it is. And,
and
I think
inevitable.
as for artists, there's a point in every artist's career or life that you're just like, is this even worth like putting out anymore?
Yeah. Or like, am I even cut out to even do this? Like, should I even?
Dude, that's what I ask
Yeah.
myself every day. Like, I know, to a lot of people, they see me and they're just like, wow, look at him doing all this stuff, right? But
Yeah.
behind all that, there's a lot of like uncertainty in myself where I'm just like, why am I even trying? If like with this podcast, like when we
Yeah.
first started it, it was literally me and Armando did it on like Zoom, or not Zoom, we did like FaceTime.
Really?
And he had his like, we recorded on another phone, and
Oh, wow.
to look where we
From
like,
scratch.
from step number 1 to now, it's kind of just like,
It gets better.
it gets better. And if I could have any message for any like artist, is like, as much as you doubt yourself, just keep going,
Oh, yeah.
because like I'm sure you're gonna like fucking like
going.
exactly, I'm sure that like you're gonna pick everything up, and then you're gonna
I am,
fucking
yeah.
soar. And
I've dropped a lot, but I'm gonna pick it up.
but yeah, dude, do you have like do you have any like advice for like any artists out there?
Honestly, I feel like I'm not even in a place to give advice because I'm still figuring myself out and like what kind of creative things I want to do. But honestly, I feel like my advice, if I were to give advice, is to just be like Dory.
Be like Dory?
Yeah. Because
Or-
that's all that's helped me so
well,
far.
let me rephrase that question. What advice would you give yourself like 5 years ago?
Me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like you today talking to the Hazel before.
I would say thank your mom. Because she always shared me. And honestly, I feel like if I continued to share myself the way she did, if I kept doing that like consistently throughout the times that I didn't, I probably would have been somewhere else right now. Like,
Yeah.
I probably would have shown more traction. But honestly, that's not something I can't do now. It's like I can still rebuild that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I would also say just accept yourself
Yeah.
for whatever, like if you want to do something, just do it. Just
Oh yeah.
don't
And-
even question if you should. Like you should because you want to.
Yeah, no, and that goes for everything you do in life, you know, just like
Yeah.
whether you're going into schoolwork or, you know, if we're making a decision in life, you know, just fucking do it because legit, none of this would have happened if I didn't just look in the mirror and say, you know, fuck it, let's fucking record a podcast, you
Right.
know, or let's go on a
I was
photo
surprised
shoot.
when you asked. That's crazy. I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, you do podcasts? I feel like a big fan.
No, you're good. I mean, me and Armando have been inconsistent as
I have been too, so it's
yeah,
a
and
natural thing.
with this podcast, like we're just trying to like, you know, create content and all that so
Yeah.
that we can have something to show, you know,
Right.
because it's a dream of ours, right? And it sucks being an inconsistent artist because it's like a lot of people are like, oh shit, he dropped, and then 5 months, and then you go away for 5 months, and then you're like, oh, what do you do again? You know. That's what I'm kind of experiencing with social media right now.
That's what I'm surprised about, actually, because when you introduced me in this podcast as someone who's creative, I was like, wow, really? And that's kind of shocking to me because I kind of knew I was creative, but then I like shied away from it so much that I kind of forgot. So, yeah, that's something I want to think about.
Yeah, no, and like, you know, I think it's cool to have like creative friends, you know, because it's
Kind of
like
gives you reminders and inspiration too.
and plus, you know, like you can bounce off of each other with ideas, you know.
Yeah.
And like you could also I just feel like it's cool to just be a creative, like this title called creative, you know.
It sounds pretty dope.
It's like it's an umbrella term for like everything. Cause like I don't do just photography, you know. Like
Right.
I'm gonna do a film soon, so that's interesting. And then we have this podcast, and yeah. So I think we're coming to a close. I'm sorry if my interviewing skills was like shitty. Like this is like my first time interviewing a guest.
Great. Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry if my interviewee. How's that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you for coming onto the show. Do you want anything to like promote or anything like that?
Follow me at Hazel Basa on Instagram.
I'll put that in the link and in the video as well.
Find everything else from there.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, and for those listening, have a good day.
For sure.
All right. And we're back. We just listened to the interview. And what did you think about it? What did you think about my interviewing skills?
You know, for your first interview, I think it went pretty good. At first, you do sound a little bit nervous, like I said, but then you pick it up. You know, you don't. You might say like or some like words like that, but I think that, you know, for your first interview, it's pretty strong. You know, you talked about how she was a photographer. You talked about, you know, her like all her skills, how she does the guitar, how she does hair. You know, you kind of like went through her life and talked about, you know, like how
like a rundown of everything.
Everything.
But yeah, so you know, one of the concerns that I had as an interviewer was that I was about to scrap the whole thing because I felt I was talking too much about myself.
Yeah.
But I re-listened to the podcast or the interview, and I was like, nope, I think I'm okay. I think I was just overthinking. Because, you know, when I was actually doing the interview, I was just like, did I talk about myself too much?
I don't think so. I think that it was more of a conversation. You know what I mean? It was kind of like you were feeding off of each other. Yeah. More than like you're talking about. Because she said something, and then you said something to go along with it. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you're interviewing someone, you want to learn about them, but at the same time, you have to keep the conversation going. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you have to keep things interesting. And people want to learn about you too. It's not just the person that you're interviewing, you know, because people don't really know who you are in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, you know, I think for me, I was kind of just like, I just didn't want to take the spotlight too much away from them.
Yeah.
That was a concern I had. But overall, it was a great interview. Like, honestly, it was so cool to explore her life and her creativity and all the things that she's done and all that. And it's also cool that she had support, from her family and all that, that she comes from a family of artists or a family of people who, done things,
Yeah, that's cool. I wish that I had family that was like photographers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like how she said her cousin was a photographer. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool. That must be really cool.
And it was so cool to see, like, how she came up and where she's going now, and it was a cool conversation to have.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can't wait to have her back on.
Yeah.
But I think we're heading towards the end now. If we're almost at probably like an hour maybe. Yeah,
Who knows?
We're hitting an hour, but so that's gonna be the end of this episode.